best friend.
Alright, if you're gonna leash your jungler at red buff, if you're not feeling lazy, like there's nothing else going on, or if you haven't tab out with something, start your Q right here at the end of 122, and then use it at the very end, like right before it clears out. That way, what happens is your very last Q will hit this red buff. You auto attack a few times, and then your Q will be back up. And you do a full combo for the J4, and then you leave.
Oh,
So,
I think I even told him like, dude, like, because every time I do this, they never tank it, and I'm like,
oh yeah.
oh yeah, I got fucked.
Yeah, you have to watch out for that. It's really annoying. It's like now you don't have your passive.
Yeah, maybe this was not even the game I was thinking about.
Yeah, I don't know if you won this. Okay, that works. He should you actually probably would have died, or you should have at least had no flash for his ghost. And he needed to use ghost there, and he just didn't use it. Instead,
So
he
if you go
flashed for
back
flash.
to where I started trading,
Yeah.
I think you can see that the first Q auto was like really slow.
Let me go back again. I don't think you shouldn't even have taken this trade. You lose this. He
Yeah,
kills
well,
you.
yeah.
Because he has flash ghost. So at the very least, I mean, maybe he doesn't kill you, but you lose your flash for his ghost, which is far worse. And like, look at your health right now. And you don't have another health potion. He can start a health potion. He only loses this because he's bad. And like, you see like how he doesn't orb walk on the other side of you. That's just because it's gold, and that's one of the importance I was saying about earlier in the little custom that we were in, how important it is to orb walk. That's why you start to get away from him, and he starts walking back, but he doesn't actually understand that he wins this because you have nothing here, and his W should be back up soon. See, 3 seconds.
Yeah, this is
And
very
like he has max stacks on you. I think he underestimates how how big the stacks are. But yeah, that was it's a bad idea for me to go in. I mean, honestly, the trade like didn't look like super slow. Maybe you could have canceled one of his autos if you did a little bit faster, like knocking him up. I think. Oh wow, you went ignite, so it's kind of risky. Honestly, what you should try to go for, honestly, like right here, after killing this minion, you should go in this bush and at least try to get a recall. You know, I would like personally be trying to play some mind games with them and keep walking in and out of the bush, acting like I'm just using it for whatever reason, and then I'm just gonna randomly recall, because the way you lose in this situation is by staying here and let them slowly push to your tower, where you can get dove by Warwick relatively easily, or maybe even the Darius if he plays it right, because you only have base health Jin working for you right now, and you have no summoners. If you die under tower with minions, you can't teleport back. You don't have teleport. So you being in a terrible situation here, in your head you need to be thinking, okay, how can I salvage this? The only way is if you get to recall while his wave is pushing to you, and he doesn't push it hard into the tower. So if he sees you recalling like over here, what he can do is he can push this all the way to the tower to where you lose a whole bunch of minions anyways. But if you cheat recall, I mean not cheat, I don't know what people have been using that term, but if you just recall and he doesn't know you recalled, then he's going to slow push and you're going to lose like 3 minions, which is fantastic for the shitty situation you're in. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Right now you're just walking around in circles.
Yeah.
You have no game plan right now.
Yeah, no recall.
Like you say, he might see you here. I mean, if I was him, I would at least try to see. He doesn't, but he just tries to push this fast. You do recall though, like you realize you need a recall. He doesn't do it fast though. He just because he's bad, and he's gonna go ward this because he's an idiot. I don't know. He already warded. What is he doing? See, this is terrible for him. Oh wait, you didn't actually finish your recall. Oh no.
I think I saw him starting to like push.
Oh. Yeah, but you could see that your wave was coming up. Oh no. Oh
I have
no.
a lot. I have a lot of issues
I
with.
mean, it's okay because I mean, this guy is like a complete idiot. I don't know what he just did. He just missed this entire wave
Yeah, he's. I
to
don't think
go
he's gonna.
do something. I want to know what he did here.
Yeah, I think he wanted to get a kill, and I think he ghosted, and then we're gone.
Yeah, so this only, I mean, this only isn't going terrible for you because he's an idiot. I mean, and this is even like gold rank. Okay, you also are taking a ton of minion hits right here. Don't do that. If the minions die, make sure if the minions are gonna tank you, you need to shield it. I think you had shield up there, but you just didn't shield the minion hits. Let me just show you how much damage you took and how big it is. You have E here. So like when this happens, you need to shield all these minion hits. Let's see your health. Okay, before the minions start hitting you, you're at 316. I'm not even gonna look. Let's see it. Let's see after. Okay, stop hitting you. You lost 116 health. That is over a third of the health that you had there. That
Yeah,
is,
fair enough.
I mean, for nothing. You just tanked minions and you didn't shield it. You did nothing. So make sure try not to tank minion hits unless it's necessary, like if you're trying to freeze it here. But if you are going to tank minion hits for whatever reason, maybe you auto attack the enemy and all the minions start hitting you, make sure you're shielding those minion hits if you can. Unless you're really going to need the shield in like a couple seconds. It's not like you have any mana to worry about. So this is actually a time he probably shouldn't push. Because you had the wave in a pretty bad position where it would have frozen to his side. This guy just doesn't understand the wave manipulation, or like what he even needs to be going for is the problem. You still are going to lose some minions though. Let's look from your perspective now. I actually want to go back and see what you recalled with, too. Do you have futures market here?
No, I don't think so.
Oh wait. Oh, okay. I think you should have gone with the second Doran's blade here. And another refillable. I think double Dorans is really strong, especially in matchups that are very brawly, like Darius. But also because of Warwick. I mean, these are champions you could possibly 1 versus 2 if
I do it a
the
lot.
situation came. And this would have been a really good time to do it. I don't think you really need the control words here. I think it's better just to get the Doran extra Doran's blade.
My problem with double Dorans is that because Riven's building like a lot of items, like
You run out of
you know,
space.
exactly, and then I can't buy ping.
Okay, yeah, I used to have a problem with that, and I kind of figured out, you know, it's not, sometimes it can be an issue if you're going Warhammer Cleaver, which you're not even doing this game, so it's not going to be a problem. If you are building Cleaver, like Warhammer Cleaver, um, you need to build a lot of times I have to end up building the Phage first, so that I'm not sitting on Kindle Gem, Longsword, Ruby Crystal, because that takes up 3 slots. Instead, I do Phage and then Ruby Crystal, and that gives me enough space for like boots, because a lot of times I'll have boots coming in, and so just make sure like here you shouldn't have that problem though, because you're going Essence Fever first. I doubt you're going to have that extra spot is going to matter for you. Okay, careful about that. You only need 1 auto tag. Save the Q to get out. You took an extra turret shot there. Otherwise, most of it looked fine.
Also,
You
some
need to be
games like
pushing this fast. So you need to be auto-attacking the cannon, and then queuing the minions, and then stunning them to kill them, and then finish off the melees here. Okay. Yeah, this is really bad here. Let me go over this. I mean, honestly, hitting the melees here is fine too. It's whatever. But you have your Q up. You need to be using it, and you need to be when you're clearing waves. Your abilities need to hit as many minions as possible, and you also need to be auto attacking between every ability because you're trying to get as much DPS out as you can. You also need to be hitting this cannon minion like with the autos and the abilities because this is the tanky one. You don't want to auto attack any minions because all these minions die to your Q and your W. Every single one. 3 Qs and a W kills these minions. So there's no point in auto attacking anyone. So right after that Q, which was bad because you only hit the minion and the cannon here, but it's okay. You need to auto this cannon, Q the back line, auto attack the cannon, Q the backline, and you can hit all 4 minions, I'm pretty sure, with the Q. Like standing right here, you Q to this one, it hits all 4 of these. But look, you see how
I
you
think I was
auto
scared of
attack
the
this? Why'd you
I was
auto
scared
attack
of
this?
the tower, so that's why I didn't walk. Like because when you see the
It
first
doesn't hit
minion,
you there. Um, yeah, like you can hit these casters without the turret hitting you. Look, you just did it right here. So why are you
yeah,
afraid of it? How are you afraid of it? You just did it. All you have to do is Q and W these minions again. But why do you auto attack this minion? Because look, watch what happens to this minion on the left side. See? It dies anyways. You didn't have to auto attack it.
mm,
I mean, the only reason you didn't have to auto attack was because the other minion hit it, but that was because you didn't Q them the first time. Like I said, 3 Qs and a W kills them. You maybe could have waited for the other minion to hit, like another minion to hit it one time, and then W'd it. But you need to kill that cannon fast, because pushing waves fast is really important, and this is the exact reason why. This is very sad. So, what you want, like after you kill somebody and you're shoving the wave, let me show you, this is an important concept I talk about in my stream. So, you see how these minions are stuck dealing with your minions at the turret here? What you want right here is you want this wave to get to this wave.
mm.
And what happens is because these minions die really fast. Like like this minion is like so close to making it in there. Um, but it doesn't get there. So if the minions did get into the tower and they died, his wave starts to push you. And what that forces him to do is he's either forced to push the turret or or you can freeze the wave right here. And that's what you want, especially after getting killed, because this is how you snowball. You snowball the lane phase by freezing because it forces them to walk up for a minion, right? If they have to walk up for a minion, you can fight them and attack them. Um, but if they decide, if they know you're strong and they're not going to fight you, then they lose every single minion. Either way, they get behind. But if you keep it over here and it's in the middle, then they they have like more power to maybe get a gank on you for the jungler to help you. If it's right here, the jungler ganking you isn't going to do anything. But here, if he's not able to walk to his minions, he might be like, "Hey, Warwick, come help me," and then they can force you out. Either way, like you always would prefer it on this side, and that's it. Still ends up happening here if you're able to trim this down. Okay, so I wouldn't go for what you're going for here. This shouldn't work, and I'll tell you why. I don't know why he's hitting you here. Okay, he doesn't know he has ghost, I think. Uh, so that's why you get a kill. Uh,
So the reason why I went for this because I saw it was level 5 and I just got back to
yes.
lane. Yeah,
I
so that
understand
was
that,
it.
but you still have to wait for the right situation. What happens is you initiate it incorrectly.
Mm,
You initiate with ERQW, and then what happens here is all he has to do is press his E, ghost, and Q you like as you're stuck in his E, and then he just walks away from you. Because you used everything in the beginning. You used ERQ, that's 2 big mobility abilities, and you use your stun, even though he was already right on top of you. Um, to where, like I said, all he has to do is run away. But look, he doesn't pop his ghost, and he just sits here trying to auto attack you because he's an idiot. Whereas you have nothing left. He could just run away from you with ghost, and Q gives him some movement speed too, and the E slows you down. Um, so yeah, if he would have just done that, he would have just walked away from you, and you would have had no ult. He would have gotten his ult, and then he would have pressure on you until you got your ult back. Does that make sense? So
yeah.
next time, instead, what you should do, um, you definitely can kill him, but what you need to do is you need to start. If you would have at this point, which I don't think you do. Let's what you need to be doing is okay. Yeah, you're already nice. You're running on air. Congratulations. Uh, you are staggering your Q. I want you to stagger your Q again. That's the best way to engage on somebody is to um, stagger your Qs and engage with your third Q.
Yeah.
Because then you basically start your combo with an extra knockup and auto attack, and then your Q's back up again. So You need to stagger your Q right here, but you don't. You start it with your first Q. I kind of love how you're in the air. You see this too, right? It's not just
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
pretty damn cool. I want to keep on this for a while.
That's fine. Yeah, so my thought there was, I didn't have Ignite yet, but I knew he had Ghost because I don't think he's ever used it. And I just saw
Wait,
the
what
other
about the
two.
ghost?
Like he's never used Ghost, right? So
Yeah.
I knew he had it. So
Mhm.
what I was scared of is at 6, like if I just try to freeze the wave there, he can kind of, because my jungler was bot side, he could kind of force me back like with the size of the wave, and then
Um.
he would get 6, and he would have Ghost, and I wouldn't have Ignite,
Yeah,
and
but with your kill advantage, you have enough of an item advantage, especially since you started Doran's Blade and he started Doran's Shield. You're going to be a bit stronger than him. You win even with his ghost, especially since you have a level advantage on him. So I think like I don't think you got to force it like right there, and you shouldn't have because he could just walk away. I think you need to just stagger your Q, and he's dumb enough. Most people are, like below diamond, where they don't understand Riven stacking her Q, like how much it does
yeah.
for her. Um, so you just need to when he's going to if he got close to you there, he would have gotten close to you after you charged a couple Qs.
Hmm.
It only takes a little. You just wait for the right situation. Um, and then just like ERQ is like a really common. It's just like the easiest way to kill people.
Yeah.
God,
I
this
know
is
it's
so
not
cool.
not ideal though, like the using your E for.
Um, well, no, it's fine like ER third Q in there, but when you ER first Q, you don't get as close to him because during the knockup you can orb walk outside of him, like get on the other side of him, and you get start off with an extra auto attack. Um, and then you have an extra Q because you have all three Qs back up. Then you don't just have one. So it's okay if he eats you there.
Yeah, this was the shit back. Because I only got a kill right in the wave, and I couldn't really buy.
I can go back and see if it was that bad. Um, let's see. You can recall here, I think. Just recall in this bush. I don't know why you ran into this bush, but if anything, that would have been your only problem. I think maybe, let me go back here for something. I think you probably should have gone for plates here. Otherwise, I wasn't really paying attention to that.
I think
How far is
he
this
was,
guy? Hell,
yeah, he
he's
was
kind of
pretty
close, so
close.
I
Yeah.
personally still would have gone for it. I think, yeah, I just still think you would have gotten it, and by the time, and then you see him, and then you back off. It's better than getting this ward, which you don't even know is here, I'm pretty sure. You go, I think you end up going to recall, and you kill it. Um, I don't know why you worded it. What was your idea in wording it?
I think I was gonna get sweeper after. I'm not sure if I did, but I do that sometimes. I just put a ward
Okay,
down
yeah,
on
that's
my Riven.
fair, except you shouldn't get sleeper this early.
Mhm.
But it is a good idea to put the ward down. If you are gonna put the ward down, put it down here, so you get to
Mhm.
see a little bit more of the river. So yeah, I think you definitely should have gone for a plate here instead, and then maybe try to recall. Or if you were gonna go here after the ward, I don't know why you ran to this bush before you recall. Just recall him here. He's dealing with minions here. How much feedback was here? 900. See, this is a problem where it's kind of hard to go with the Essence Saver. I hate getting this Cloak of Agility early. I probably would have just gone with the Kindle Gem for the future Cleaver. I'm not gonna say it's terrible because I don't know how bad this actually is.
I mean, it helps in 1v1s, right? Like
Yeah, I mean,
it
so
gives
does
you
the
the,
Kindle Gem.
yeah.
Health is a raw stat along with the CDR. I just don't know how much worse it is. So I don't actually know the math on it. I want to say it's probably bad. And that's why I kind of like the I mean, how much do you hate buying this? Like, did you go to the shop and or did you end up liking the Cloak of Agility? Like, all right, Cloak of Agility, I'm strong. Or do you feel like,
No,
damn, I wish I could have like saved up for a BS sword?
yeah, obviously BF. It's just yeah, because I literally went back to lane and I killed him and I pushed the wave in. I couldn't really
Do
get
you have
anything
futures
done.
market here, or did you go
No,
boots?
no, I went boots.
Okay, let me see something real quick. After these minions,
Oh, you want
if
the
you
plate,
if
right?
you go for a plate here, that's puts you at 1,000. And then if you
But
back
but
here, you got the. Mhm.
he still has Ghost, and he would probably hit level 6 on this wave.
Okay,
So
no, you
if
wouldn't be fine
if
getting this plate.
yeah,
Yeah, fact. Yeah, you would
alright.
be fine. It
I'm
only
always
takes. It's
scared
only
of
gonna take you like 4 autos here with your minions. The first plate is super squishy. Yeah, you definitely would have got. Your minions almost killed it by themselves. Look at. And these are minion autos. You would have been okay.
mhm.
Um, but I think with futures market and getting that plate, you would have had enough. Personally, with how much health you're at, I would, as he's recalling, if I'm like seeing him push, I would maybe see if he was going to push, and then I would stay for the wave, just because that's how important the BS sword is to me. And I know backing, I'll probably lose like a couple minions. I would probably just sit here and get one more wave with futures mark in the back for the BS sword. Granted, you couldn't do that here because you didn't have futures market and you didn't go for a plate. So I don't think the recall was bad. The only thing I think was bad about the recall was recalling in this bush.
Mhm.
I mean walking over to this bush before you recall. That's why you lose some of these minions here. It's because you wasted like 5 seconds.
Yeah, I basically lose the whole wave.
I mean you're still ahead though, so that's good. You need to be stacking your Qs more. Because the best form of poke and like almost all matchups for like melee matchups is to just third Q them, auto attack W and EOA. There's
Mhm.
no counterplay for them. Well, for most champions. I wouldn't have queued those minions. Now your minions are going to get them too low. Like it's good to keep these minions here so that this wave gets over here. You want to freeze it here if you have an opportunity, especially when you're ahead. But
Yeah.
because you queue those minions, these minions die and it's gonna reset like right here. See?
Yeah.
Like
Here's
the
my issue with Riven. Uh, let's say you have an advantage, right? Like you have the wave in an optimal spot right
yeah.
now. So how I can't trade with the guy because if I do, then I'll automatically push the wave, right?
Well, you would have been able to if you kept those minions there because he would have had more minions than you. So he's slowly pushing the wave towards you. And while he has a lot of minions, you can afford to usually get like a Q or W off. But yes, you are right. There are times where you have to decide, is it worth it for me to mess up this wave that I have to get the poke in on him? And that's
Mhm.
something you have to decide for yourself. But if like right now you're strong enough where you trading with him would be pretty optimal because you want to be snowballing this. You're 2-0 on him.
Yeah, and I have the caddy hitting like not hitting the other one. I hate that
See
mechanic in the game. Like when
what?
there's like two equal waves, but because one cannon is hitting the other one and the other one.
Honestly, no. Your wave was stronger than him there after you killed those minions because your minions were grouped up from hitting the casters, but the casters didn't really do any damage to him. I already knew your wave was gonna push here.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't.
I mean that there is like RNG factor in that, and like what you were saying. Um. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is where.
Yeah, you messed up hard here. I'll go over what you did wrong.
Yeah, you
Yeah, it's
really
really
can't
bad.
say.
Okay, no, I mean, okay, so personally, I probably wouldn't have gone to hit the plate here, maybe. I
Mhm.
think the minions would have killed it anyways, as long as you're in range, like, that, it works. I don't know if I would have gotten it since he Qs these minions, but the problem is that there's a whole bunch of problems you did here. We'll go over them one at a time. One, you got hit by the outer Q.
Yeah.
if and also you have to keep in mind he's in range to pull you here. So when he's in range to pull you, don't use that second Q because it doesn't matter where you're at in his E, you're going to be pulled. So if you use your second Q, you're still in range for him to pull you. So what you need to do is you need to hold on to that Q to be able to use it after he pulls you in, right? Basically after you use your second Q here, it's wasted. It got zero use, right? Because you got pulled in anyways, and now you can't even hit them with it. So
Yeah.
that's one less Q to try to get away with, or maybe even turn around. Because maybe you can turn it around. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have ult, but you do have ignite, and you're up. So at the very least, I would, if I would have had that second Q, I would have auto queued. And then here's like probably the biggest mistake you did. Well, I don't know about the biggest, but this is like your next biggest mistake that you did. When you third Q, you do need to head to your turret, which this direction is like okay, but you need to hit him too, because that way he'll be pushed back and he'll be knocked up, and that gives you more time to leave. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you don't even hit him here, so he's still auto attacking you. And so now you're just dead. And even then you got hit with the outer Q again. I mean, you probably still would have died since he had Flash and Ghost active after, but
Yeah.
like those multiple mistakes back to back were your problems. You got hit with an outer Q, you wasted your second Q, and you missed the knock up on the third Q, which is really big.
Yeah. I think if I maybe flashed his E, he would have still probably ghosted after, and then maybe.
Yeah. I don't think flashing E would matter because he still could have flash E. It didn't really matter when he did it. I think you probably could have gotten out there or turned it since you have ignite. Until you messed up the second Q.
Yeah.
There were quite a few problems. It wasn't just, oh, I greeted for a turret hit, you know,
Hmm.
or for a plate. Yeah, see, this is terrible what he did.
Yeah, he left it there.
He just
Nah,
lose it.
I think I was playing my jungler too, because I thought he was gonna
Nah,
go.
Darius is fine against this J4. He had enough health, and you were too far away. He could have spent some time pushing this in. So what's the gold looking like now? Probably pretty even. Yeah, he's only 200 gold behind you.
Oh shit, yeah.
And so it's like the biggest thing you probably messed up on this game. Having a 2-0 lead and just getting solo killed. That's rough. Okay, this is a good
Oh yeah,
fight.
makes
Don't waste your shield like that. Don't just initiate with E stun. This is I have to go over this every lesson because
Uh-huh.
people do it all the time. You E for mobility and then you stun, but look at your shield. How is anybody going to? How are you gonna get any use out of your shield when they're stunned? So by the time people start hitting you, your shield's already down, and that's why you lose health here, because your shield doesn't last that long, and
Yeah.
it lasts for like a second and a half, and your stun lasts for like 3/4 of a second. So they
Yeah.
just don't have time to make you. You get no use of your shield um, besides the mobility. What you can do instead, just a small thing that helps instead, is just E, start auto attacking him, just start hitting him, and then when he goes to auto attack, that's when you stun. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you could stun both of these guys. That's what I would probably do. I would probably E in here, auto attack the Warwick, maybe auto attack a second time, and then when Darius gets here, then I stun both of them, and then I pop my ult. You know, something of that sort. But yeah,
Yeah.
this is still probably a pretty good fight. I think this is good for you guys.
I mean, we might win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
but I
so
would
it worked out, but the only reason you lost is because of exactly what I said earlier. You see how close that was? Like, you barely died by one auto attack. If you would have played
Yeah.
that better, you shouldn't have died, and then that would have been really good. You would get another plate here. You would get all these minions here. Granted, your wave is in a pretty good spot. I don't think this is even gonna get into your turret before this wave gets here. Yeah, see? So this is it's still like, it's not bad for, it still worked out better for you guys. But, you know, my goal is to show you what you should be doing better.
Yeah, of course.
And not dying there helps you snowball up. This Darius is
Yeah.
just terrible with wave manipulation. You should have a lot more minions, but I don't think you do. Yeah, I think you're just probably missing a whole bunch of random minions. Let me go
Yeah,
over some of this. I don't know why it hasn't sped up.
Yeah, with the third cancel hurt a lot.
Yeah, so that works. Alright.
But then I got the
Okay, here's another thing. I want to give you another tip for loyal Darius. Okay. So you don't have ult here, but I do think you're still strong enough where it's okay to trade here, since he doesn't have both of his summoners. The problem is what you want to do against Darius, like in low rank. Um, right after, I mean, actually, this is for most ranks. Um, auto Q is fine, which is what you do here. I'm gonna slow it down. So you Q, auto Q, right? After this auto attack, do not immediately third Q. Because the Darius knows you're gonna third Q, and that's the best thing for him to do is to pull you during your third Q, because your knockup is super important. So what you need to do is wait for him to pull, and then auto attack third Q, so that you don't get hit with the outer Q. You should get hit with the outer Q here. He doesn't. Maybe it's on cooldown, or maybe I
No, it
don't know
was on
why.
cooldown, and I think he's gonna
Oh,
flash him for that.
yeah. But that's your problem there, because after he pulls you in, you can knock him up, and then you could like EW away or something.
Hmm. Yeah, I do that to
Anyways,
Fiora, but not. Yeah, not really to Darius.
well, I don't know.
Because
I think
Fiora, yeah, like you have to, right? Because like you have to
no, I
wait.
think Fiora's a bit differently. It's not like Fiora like pulls you out of your
No,
third Q and like you really need it. It's just with her, you have to like you
yeah,
want
it's
to like
just because of
move with your third
W.
Q, and you need to make sure you have your E to move after. It's a bit
Yeah.
different between them. I don't think you should always save your third Q versus Fiora.
No, I just try to like I do 2-3 autos or you know
Hmm.
that I hit that after so she doesn't parry it.
I find that the Fiora is much more reactive than the Darius, like Fiora W versus Darius pull, because Darius still wants to pull you so that you're not auto attacking him.
Hmm.
Whereas Fiora, she really has to, like, she only is going to use it on hard CC.
Yeah.
Darius still gains something out of just using it anyways. I mean,
Yeah.
Fiora might use it for like attack speed uh, reduction, but
Oh yeah. That was unfortunate. I shouldn't have fought him, I think, but yeah, with the gank it was.
uh, I mean, I don't
'Cause
think
I
it's the
think I
worst thing in the
think
world. I
I
think you
think
could.
here like yeah, but you see how
It's
I'm
more
getting
like
hit by
vision.
Qs now?
Yeah, you get hit by a
Because
lot
he
of auto
has
cues.
yeah because he has a lot more move speed than I do. I think because like, he has like the tier 2 boots and the phage.
Well, I mean, that usually doesn't matter when with your mobility, um, unless he's like chasing you down. So like here, you just run into it with your E. The thing
No,
is, if he's trying to hit you with the outer Q, and say you're like chasing him like in a let me go back. It probably happens again in the 1v1.
yeah, it happens
You
again,
can
right?
treat it like Camille W, where you're walking away, and she's trying to chase you because she wants to hit you with the outside of it, right? And then at the last second, E into them to where the damage doesn't really matter, um, and you're like right next to them, and then you can go into them. Yeah, see, this is another thing. You just waste your shield here. Look, it's down when he goes to hit you, right? Your shield did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, then it's
And
maybe
then the only reason he hits you with the outer Q is because you don't have anything left.
yeah. So I should save like my
Yeah,
stun.
you want to like go like for like more auto attacks and save something.
Mhm. Yeah, because my like usually with my mindset with Darius is I want to kill him as fast as possible, right? Because the longer this goes on,
Yeah, but it
the
just
more.
doesn't work like that. He's not that squishy.
Yeah, I don't think I've ignited him
Yeah,
though.
and you
So
need
that was
you need to save like the stun so it's not able to like Q away from you. You know, run away and Q you for health. Um, yeah, that seems that you just seem to be having the same problems everyone else has, where you guys EW in like auto attack, E auto. Don't EW. E auto Q, and then after shield is gone, then stun something. Stun something important. Stun so his auto attack gets cancelled, or stun so that he can't walk away from you.
hmm. Yeah, I think from here on. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yeah, I thought we were.
That's pretty bad.
Oh,
I guess you end up picking up a kill here. The problem is you're kind of losing your turret, but I think it's fine. I would still probably just go for this turret here. You can still spend some time down here until unless you see him go for the next wave. There's
yeah,
chances to
maybe
here.
mid was
You guys actually get quite a bit here. We're not defending it very well. Oof. Goodbye. I mean, you guys are so good here. Oh, nice flash. Oh, not having tenacity. Uh-oh. There you go. Okay, so you see what you did to that Warwick? That's what I was talking about doing with the Darius. I mean, it kind of looked like you did on accident. Like you were just queuing away and he kind of got into the perfect position. But that was the power that I'm talking about. That's really useful for getting away, especially for like ganks. Right here. You like queue in front of him. Look at how he gets knocked back. He actually gets knocked back this way a little bit. And he's stuck there. You see that? And then there's look at the distance between you two. Imagine imagine you did that with the Darius.
Yeah.
And then he would have to spend that time of Ghost trying to catch up to you, and then you stun him and EOA, and your Q would have been back up there. That's like the power of that. It's mainly really good for like getting away from ganks. That's the one I utilize that the most probably. Did I need you to go for the camp? Wait, where are you going?
Oh, was just pulling
What's the point in pulling it?
it.
Just a waste of time. And you're hitting the small one. Don't hit the small one. Make like, get them all the same health so you kill them all together. But it was a good idea to take the camp. I think you should just recall here.
Yeah,
Like,
I
what are
don't
you
know.
trying to get? You have enough for...
Yeah, I have no idea what else.
Oh, you can get
Yeah,
Tavi's, Kindle Gem, and Longsword here. You're just really low here.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a Jarvan discussion.
Maybe. Okay. I probably would have just frozen here. Well, maybe you can't really do that because
No, I wanted to go for
you don't have
Jarvan.
TP.
Yeah, I wanted to walk down.
Yeah, not having TP sucks at this point. I do think it's fine versus Darius, but you need to know like you need to be snowballing harder if you're taking Ignite.
Yeah, that's when I was trying to get the plate. That was the
Yeah, you can see how you're just wasting your shield a lot of times. Oof.
yeah, that hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I wasn't expecting Darius to show up. 'Cause
Yeah, I don't think that was like that bad, honestly. I don't know why that looked funny. It's like you're not walking on air anymore.
Oh,
That was like the coolest visual bug I've ever seen.
and I think from here onwards, he gets like, yeah, he just gets a lot of resets in like these sort of.
Yeah, I mean, he's way stronger than you now. Probably like 800 gold off or something. Oh, even more. 1800, Jesus.
Yeah, he got shutdowns too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go for Raptors. What was that?
I stole his cap.
Did you
No,
do
that
that on
was pretty
purpose?
No. I wasn't like I don't know what I was looking at, but I know that he like must have marked me or something.
Yeah, he did.
And I said sorry, and then he said all G. I don't know. I wasn't really looking.
So troll.
Yeah, it wasn't. But yeah, I think by this time they're like.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not doing too terrible of a job. Um, like where you're at on the map. The problem is just that you don't have TP.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know how we lost this game. So Akali got really strong. And I
Yeah,
know Kitsu was like all chatting about the game like he was she talking to Morgana.
yeah.
'Cause Morgana was
Okay, so I've noticed you ult too early in situations.
uh
Just as a general rule, you're just ulting like before you're actually there, and a lot of times they can just walk away from you. And Riven's pretty useless without her ult, so try not to do that.
okay.
The good thing is you guys have lots of dragons, so that's what you guys want to play around. Still have another 2 minutes for that. So I would just sit top here still. And so yeah, you actually did never switch your sweeper earlier. Like you said,
Yeah,
now would be the time you would kind of want to switch to sweeper. So I guess
yeah,
the war was just kind of bad, whatever you did.
I actually thought about that just a minute ago, like now yeah, so now Akali's like
Yeah, well we saw she was kind of smurfing. That's good. You have to get out. Okay.
the last breath.
I'm pretty sure you would have killed her if you had the Legends Nasty in there. A lot of these situations you're just being CC'd for so long.
I mean, at least I got that, I think, but
Yeah,
initially
yeah.
I was trying to feel for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that terrible. You just need to be more fed at this point, and not having this nasty runes kind of hurting you in these team fights.
Yeah, I've actually not like because I usually go to Nasty if I see they have see,
It's mainly Leona. It's also good for Warwick Fear and Ash ult.
yeah, yeah, I think I got all those previously.
The thing is, if you went Ignite here, it would have been nice if you could have gotten fed and then gotten Mercury Treads, but you ended up being the Darius after. Mercury Treads would have been an option here. You didn't get solo killed those times. You stayed fed.
See, that's why I get the like that's I think that's why I max W seconds so I can just
Yeah, I mean, this is just a small thing. It just kind of bothers me. When I say, like, you need to auto attack more, after you do this third Q, there's, like, no reason not to auto attack this cannon minion first, but you see, like, you immediately W. Like, just auto attack between these two things. Auto attack between your abilities.
and then the crit.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Fucks,
Alright,
yeah.
you can be here for the dragon. I think the dragon's gonna be up enough. I think he should be at the dragon here. Alright, WDs and jump over the wall. Okay. Where are you? What?
I don't
Like,
know.
what are you doing over here?
I was hitting a power spike. I don't know.
Well, I don't know what power spike. Yeah, was it a BF sword? Maybe.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's a stopwatch. Your team lost. Your team had a 4v5.
Yeah. Okay, so this was the.
That's the biggest, probably macro mistake you made this game. I thought you were just gonna like take the Krugs and then try to run down here, even though I think it was probably a bit too late for you to do that. I think you just recall after for a stopwatch.
I realized I was too late, and then.
Yeah, see, you're not auto attacking. You're just ability, 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 and then now you're just gonna have to auto attack us a million times while your abilities are down. There you go.
Yeah, I should have gotten the
Nice Leon ult.
sweeper, especially for a college.
Yeah, I mean that's like the least of your problems this game. Although I would sell this refillable for a control word. Yeah, the refillable doesn't really do much for you right now. I also think you should go
Yeah.
for Ravenous Hydra here instead of the GA. Alright. Let's try to watch like the next big team fight and let's get you into a live game.
Alright.
See what goes on here. It looks like they're just kind of fed at this point. Okay, so he's stunned too early. Maybe could have killed Akali, maybe. Yeah, it just looks like they're just too strong at this point. Yeah, probably just get Baron and then push together and end.
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably becoming more and more as the game progresses. Like,
Yeah. You get hit by an Astro here?
yeah, I struggle with
oof.
the.
Look at how long this lasts. You are dead. No tenacity. Oh, okay. Nice move by Sim. I need a flash. Although I think Akali kills everyone here.
Yeah, that
Your comp just kind of sucks against Akali. I don't think Riven's that bad against it. Alright.